Today we're going to take a look at another great QSP knife, and I don't know if you guys can even see it because it's in a pretty interesting color. So let's turn this around and take a look at the QSP Canary. So guys, we are going to take a look at a knife that I 100% know I'm on the fence about because of the color. It's the QSP Canary. Now, this is an awesome, awesome knife. Let's get the box out of the way here real quick and start looking at this. So this is in 14C 28N and G10. Now, the color combination on this one, I don't know, it may grow on me. I'm on the fence because I look at it sometimes, I'm like, that's quite the color contrast, and then other times I look at it and I'm like, why does that look like booger green? But the knife overall so far is really impressive. Super light. I've had this in pocket since about 6 o'clock this morning, so for about 5 hours. Have not done a lot of cutting, but I have done a couple small things with it. 14C 28N is one of my favorite steels. This does seem to feel really good in hand so far, the little bit of cutting I've done. Now, it is a small knife. On the mat, you're looking at just under 7 inches, 6 3/4-ish, it looks like. It's in a liner lock, thumb stud deployment only, but it's got all these holes that have been drilled all the way through the liner on this side and then through the scale on this side, which makes it incredibly light. Really nice balance. It's in a fairly thin blade stock with a really good full flat grind on this. The edge profile on this is really good. Behind the edge thickness and profile is really good. The action on it is not quite as smooth as some of the other QSPs I've had, but the detent is great. The reverse, I think that the issue I have with the smoothness, it's not that it's not smooth. The action is very, very smooth. It's just that that's a very light blade, and it just, a lot of times your drop shut knives have heavier blades, so a little shake and it sends it home. It does have a reversible pocket clip with one of the things that I always mention, this little plate here. Other knife companies, please pay attention. Little plate here to keep dirt and grit and stuff out of it. That's a very bright color there. Thumb stud deployment, pretty good. No jimping to speak of, so you don't have to worry about soft jimping, but in hand so far, pretty comfortable right there. This reminds me a lot of the Kestrel, which is a knife I really like. So the Kestrel's a little bit bigger and it has more of a clip point to it, but it's very kind of similar to it. You got a nice little palm swell here. You've got really good access to the lock bar, but it's not like it's so deep here that it feels out of sorts. I got a full 4-finger grip on what's a pretty small knife, and it's pretty comfortable. The pocket clip, not at all a hot spot, and it's a nice deep carry pocket clip, which on a small knife like this means that you can stick it all the way down in your watch pocket, which I've done, or you can put it all the way forward in your pocket close to the zipper as opposed to the seam, and it allows you to carry more than one knife. The speed holes on this, as I like to call them, absolutely give you some tactility. I'm digging that. It definitely feels, you can feel them. It adds a little bit of traction to that knife, whether you're all the way on them with your index, with your pads of your fingers, or if you've just got it in grip, you can absolutely feel that adds a little bit of grip to what's already pretty grippy G10 because it's been textured. The handle's been contoured nicely. So even on this knife, which is kind of thin, it feels thicker than it is because it kind of allows your fingers to wrap around it. And that keeps it from rolling out of the cut for me, like a lot of knives do. You guys have heard me talk about knives that kind of like roll. I'm doing it unintentionally. Knives that roll out of the cut like that. I don't really feel that on this knife because of the way it's contoured. So now, I do like this a lot. Now, there's a couple small little things, but that reverse flick is so good on this. There's a couple small things about this knife that I found so far today that I don't like. So, and it's not going to be a lanyard hole because on a small knife like this, you may want a lanyard, and it's not a real big knife, so you don't have a lot of room. So I'm not going to complain about the lanyard hole, but there's a couple other things. So let's turn this around after you guys hear from a video sponsor and talk about the things that I'm not a big fan of. Guys, did you know that Coffee Brand Coffee has more than just awesome on-demand roasted coffees and flavored coffees? They also have tea, cocoa, cold brew bags, decaf, and they have premium candies that will make your family go nuts. So check them out with the link down below to save 10% on some of the best coffee you're going to find. So just a couple of small things on this. I wish that one of the things that is cool about it absolutely kind of leads to a weirdness for me. And this is the first time I've really noticed this on a knife. The difference in weight between the two sides of the knife is very noticeable. I can feel that it's heavier this way and like wants to fall that way as opposed to, you know what I'm saying? Because this side is so light and then this side not as light. Very, very noticeable. And I don't know why I find that weird. Next thing, I do understand that if you wear gloves a lot, I don't wear gloves. I do understand that jimping on the lock bar, Revo Knives pointed this out to me. They explained why they have jimping on theirs. But for me, I very rarely am wearing gloves these days. I don't necessarily need that. I don't know if I would want the jimping on there or if I would want the jimping that aggressive. You could, that jimping's a little bit aggressive on this. So it, you know, it can be a hot spot. The next thing is the thumb studs. For thumb deployment, I'm noticing it's pretty close for me, for big hands. You can see how close it is to the scale. It's much easier for me to reverse flick it than it is to thumb flip it. But that leads to another issue with the thumb studs. They're kind of sharp on the edges. I think I would have wanted these to be a bit more rounded if it was, because I can definitely feel it on the tip. You can see tip of my finger. The detent on this is pretty strong, and I think that's part of it. But even with my thumbs, which as you guys can see, really calloused from all the things that I do with knives, I'm finding that those thumb studs are a little sharp. I don't know, maybe if they had used like a cone thumb stud more akin to what you see on the Sebenza, it would have given you a little bit more access for your thumb in there, and I don't think it would have been as sharp. But all in all, really, oh, one last thing, really good knife. One last thing, there is a little bit of lock stick on this one. Now, it could be that there's a little bit too much lubricant because as you can see, it's leaking lubricant out. With that will allow that to go over further than it needs to. So there may just need to be a little bit of cleanup done on this. But all in all, I do like this knife. So far, first day, is it a yup or a nah? It's a yup. It's definitely a yup. I like the QSP stuff. They've been doing a really good job with it. I don't think I would pick this color configuration. And I'm much more a fan of micarta, so I would, for me, see if there was a micarta version of this. But yeah, first day in pockets, it's not a bad little knife if you wanted a small EDC knife that was kind of like out of the way and easy to hide. So let's turn this around, do some final thoughts, and send you out about your day. Guys, all of the QSP stuff that I've seen has been really good. I don't know why I forgot about QSP for a long time. Just so you guys know, I now have an affiliate link with QSP, so you guys can pick these up and support the channel. This is a great little cutter. Since filming, I'm filming this after having filmed the body of the video. This has done a really good job doing some heavy cutting. I do some cardboard. I'm digging it. It's a pretty good cutter for a small little knife. And I mean, it is a small little knife. It's in my hand, just completely disappears. So guys, that's it on this one. We'll see more about this. We'll do the full review. If you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down, but tell me why. I can't change that content if you don't tell me what you don't like. You know, a lot of ways to support. I have got sponsors down below. 2 of those links have discounts built in: Coffee Bear Coffee, Temper Trails. I've got a membership, lots of different stuff, but there are different layers to it. Check it out. But there's a lot of stuff. I do giveaways, I do exclusive content, private Discord, and a premium tier sharpening tutorial series. I've got an Amazon store down below. I've got affiliate links down below. None of those cost you anything to use them, but it does support the channel. Guys, that's pretty much it on this one. I love y'all. Keep it clean in the comment section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and I'll see you in the next video.